Hi, Stephen. This is Alan Cocker with ABC, former hitting coach for the Colorado Rockies and the Seattle Mariners. I'm going to take a look at your video today, do some study. Stephen, one of the first things that I always look for is balance. And to maintain balance, I want to have these knees inside my feet and my head inside my knees. And I want to try to keep this throughout the whole process of hitting if I possibly can. It's going to help me control the bat and maximize my bat speed through the hitting zone. Okay, one of the things I'm going to point out here in your setup position, we've kind of got this back foot turned out just a little bit. And when the back foot turns out, it makes it difficult to get a weight transfer from our back leg into our front leg. Okay, so one of the suggestions I would make just in your setup alone is that we take this back foot from here and we try to get it more squared up or more pointing straight ahead at towards home plate. Okay. And we're going to take this into the load phase, loading up, getting myself ready to see the ball, and then put a swing on it. Okay, and when I load, one of the things, when I see your load, one of the things that I see is I see this knee kind of getting over this back foot just a little bit. A couple things happen from here. We have a tendency to want to spin our front side open a little early because we don't transfer that weight from the back side into the front side. And part of that, again, is caused because this back foot is kind of pointing out just a little bit. If we can get that squared up, I think maybe we can keep this knee more inside this front foot right here. Okay? So when we load, what we do is we store energy into the inside part of my back leg. Okay? That's where I want to feel the pressure, or I feel the weight going to my backside. Okay, a couple things happen in the load. I'm sure you've heard get your foot down. Okay, when the toe touches, okay, that's the first move that happens with most hitters. It's not until this back heel gets on the ground am I fully loaded and ready to start my swing. So once I get the heel down, basically my foot is down. All right, that's what I want you to understand. Now from here, I'm going to check some other things. I want to make sure that when I'm loaded, my foot's down. I have good equal bend in both knees. Okay, we're not bad there. Actually, pretty good shape. I want to make sure that these hips right here are squared up to home plate. Okay, and I don't want to see the front hip starting to leak open just a little bit quickly. Okay, when I get into this position, I want to see the head. I want to see the head right here. I want to see it more over your belt buckle right there. I want to see it more in the center of your body as opposed to back here over your back leg. Okay? And one of the biggest things that I look for is this stride foot. And when this stride foot lands, that heel plants and the stride foot is down, we want to make sure that this stride foot is no more open than 45 degrees. Your stride foot's open at 56, and what that does is it just causes a quick, leaky front hip is what I call it. That front hip leaks out of there, and it causes our swing to be a little bit longer. Will also cause us to come out and around the baseball instead of straight to or inside and through the baseball. Okay? Now once we get to this loaded position, all right, we now are going to transfer our weight. I'm going to transfer the weight with this back knee. I'm going to drive it and shift my weight into the inside part of this front thigh. That's the first move with our lower half. We get direction to the ball and we get drive and power through the ball by generating drive with our lower half. Okay? The next thing that happens is the hands start to get involved. The first move that takes place is the elbow drops down into the slot next to the rib cage and the back hip. And as we go forward, we'll start to see what I call a connection. Okay, the connection is, I guess I can show you from right here. The connection is the back shoulder, back elbow, and the back hip are all in an alignment. Okay, and it's that connection along with that drive of the back knee into the front leg that's going to give you maximum bat speed and power through the baseball. Okay, so we'll run it forward, past the connection. Now my hands will start to work in front of my body. Okay, they'll get past my center of gravity, which is my belly button. All right, and again, we've got this head right here is kind of sitting over this back leg. it's outside this back knee. I'd rather see that head right here. I'd rather see it more over your belt buckle, okay, more over your center of gravity, so we can really shift that weight and transfer that energy into the front side, okay? As we start to go forward, we're going to take it to contact. When we get to contact, we want to see palm up, palm down, which is what I see from you. Okay, and we want to see the head and eyes looking right down the barrel of the bat at contact. Again, I'm going to point out that the head is sitting over the backside, so that's going to limit that the head is actually, well, let me show you. The head is sitting back here over my back leg instead of sitting out here over my belt buckle and inside my knees. Okay, and that just limits our extension and our drive through the ball. All right, I do like what I see with your hands. I do like your head and eyes are looking down the barrel. It's important to know as soon as my head and eyes come up, then basically my swing is over, because my barrel of my bat is going to follow my head and eyes. So I need to condition myself and make sure that I have focus to keep that head and eyes looking right down here for at least one count after the ball leaves my bat. That way I'm ensured that I'm going to finish my swing. Okay, we'll get to extension, and then we start to pull through. We'd like to see two hands on the bat just a little bit longer so that we get a nice full arc and a nice full finish back this way. But Stefan, I think the biggest thing that we're going to try to get you to do to improve your swing a little bit is when we get to this position right here where the heel plants, okay, we're going to make sure that this stride foot is more at a 45-degree angle. We want to try to get rid of this wide open front side so that our hips can stay squared up right there. Okay, no leaky front hip right here. The next thing that we're going to do is from this position, I'm now going to drive into that front leg with that back knee. I'm going to feel that weight shift into here. Okay, I'm going to set a tee up right here on the outside corner of the plate, even with my front foot. I'm going to put that tee right there. Okay, put a ball on it. It's going to be on the outer third of the plate. I'm going to make sure that my head right here is over my belt buckle. I don't want it to sit over my backside. I don't want it sitting on my back leg. I want it right over my belt buckle, right in there. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get to this connected point. Shoulder, elbow, and hip are in alignment. And now I want you to think of skipping a flat rock on a lake. Think about the motion that your arm makes to throw that rock sidearm and make that flat rock skip across the lake. The elbow will drop down into the slot, and then the elbow doesn't continue to go forward. As soon as it gets into the slot and I got the connection of shoulder, elbow, and hip, my hand now releases that rock, and I get it to go true and go across that lake, and we see how many skips we can get. Well, that's what I want you to do with your top hand on this tee drill on the outer third of the plate right here. I want you to feel like once we get to there, okay, now from here, I'm skipping a flat rock with my hands, particularly my top hand. My hands are going to go forward. I'm going to feel the bat speed and the release of the barrel staying through this ball, okay, so that I can get good maximum bat speed through this pitch on the outer third. That's the toughest pitch to handle, so that's the pitch we work on the most, okay? Again, paying attention to my head right here is more in front or more centered over my belt buckle, and we'll just see what happens. I think this is a drill that's going to help you feel your bat speed, and it's going to maximize your power a little bit as well. Okay, buddy? I want to thank you for coming to our camp, and good luck, kiddo.